Hello and welcome to T for Tarot, where for Tarot stands for I am here for the walkthroughs, I am here for the crafting, I am here for the readings, the pull of cards, all of those things. But most of all, I am here for the healing, I am here for the messages, and I am here for the work. So today, I have decided that I wanted to bond with my cards a little bit. Some of them were looking a little unfinished because they didn't have any edging. So I decided, let's get this done the cheapest way possible. There's people who use stamps. There's people who use crafting markers and all those things. And I'm a baddie on a budget, okay? So I decided to, test out a few of these ways, and you guys are going to come with me on this journey. So what is edging? Long story short, and let me get you an example. This is my first deck I edged, which was literally just yesterday. I've never done this before, aside from this deck and one more that I'm going to show you. So what it means is, some decks come without anything on the sides. They're usually pure white or whatever. So, or, if you were a side shuffler, pull a couple of these, every now and then it hits the side of the deck and, it can get damaged. So a way to kind of tidy all of that up is by grabbing a marker, a stamp, something, and just coloring in the sides there to give it a different look, to give it a little, a little refresher. So again, as we go through, and I'll show you my other deck that I did, as we go through, another reason why people will want to edge their deck, like I said, to bond with them, to make them look a little bit more complete, over time, wear and tear. So to keep them from having those peeled edges, you can color those. And what else? I feel like there was one more reason, but this is the other deck that I did, the Mystic Goddess Tarot. And yeah, I just wanted to give it a new look. I wanted to refresh it. I did these literally one by one, card by card, and it gives you an opportunity to kind of slow down and participate with your cards, look at the cards, see the type of styles and all that type of stuff. So I just really wanted to get intimate with my cards and give them a new look, refresh them, make me want to pick them up every now and then, personalize it. So what I did was, and I'm going to go back to this one for just a moment. So for this one, I actually edged it in a Crayola marker. This is the color of it, and this is how it came out. Definitely a little bit darker than I anticipated, because if you look at the front of the deck, it has a light gold kind of color, and this right here would have been perfect, but came out a little darker. So that's something that you have to keep in mind when you are doing the work. But again, let's go through a few disclaimers and some tools while we are at it. So, mama ain't raised no fool, okay? These decks, though, can be very affordable, there are things about them that we need to keep in mind when we are edging them, okay? So you want to keep in mind the different tools that you use. The Crayola marker that I used for the last one, I used on a matte deck. The cardstock was pretty thick, and the reason I did that was because I saw a video where it says that the Crayola markers don't usually bleed, and they're very easy to clean up, wipe off the sides and things. So that's why I did it for that. Now, this is a glossy deck. I don't know if you can tell by the glare. Boom. Yeah, this is a glossy deck. So I was like, okay, well, gloss is usually a little bit more slippery, so maybe I can try something new on it that, that might be a little bit more forgiving on a surface such as this. So I used this marker, which is a art marker. Let's see if we can bring this bad boy in. So this is a mild liner marker that I got from the dollar store, and it's double edged. So you have the felt almost highlighter tip on that side, and then you have this other more refined tip here on the other side, and that is what I use to edge this deck, and I think it worked well. I was able to wipe it off rather quickly, you know, if I made a mistake, and long story short, that was a good judgment call. So if you're going to use this particular one, my advice is that you use it on a more glossy deck, okay? And this is what that came out looking like. All right. Okay. So now let's go over the tools. I've already explained to you guys that I have used the Crayola marker, which I'll be using this burgundy on my Cozy Witch Tarot today, just for an example, just to do a few of them so you guys can see what that looks like. This is also a matte deck. So again, that's my, that was my recommendation. And then this is the sister, if you will. This is the sister tarot deck, still by Jane Wallace, the Ocean Tarot. So it does have that slippery, glossy texture to it. So I'm going to use this one just as an example for you all today. Now, let's get into the ones that I have not used at all. So I saw a video under the comments, and if I can find it, I'm pretty sure. If I can find it, I'll link the video down. But someone in the comments said, hey, you can also use an expo marker to edge your deck. And I'm like, okay, well shoot, I'm going to try that today. So I have, I'm sorry, not specifically expo marker. Specifically, they said a dry erase marker. So I'm going to try this really big one today. And if it doesn't work out after I do a couple shots, I have another dry, in case you didn't know, Crayola creates dry erase markers. So I just bought the 4-pack of the Expo dry erase, just, you know, just to give it a shot, just in case, not even mad at it. And then last but not least, actually, I'm sorry, we got 2 more. So this one here is by Papermate. It is a felt tip marker, and I have yet to try this out. This is very common. I'm sure y'all seen this before, but it looks just like this. Very small tip now that I'm looking at it. So it might be an all day thing here, but we're going to see. I'm going to use that Papermate. And then of course it has more colors, but I'm going to use that with this today. Now, to be very clear, the reason I am using this one, I have not tried it before. I have not tried this one before, but the reason I am able to try it or willing to try it on this deck is because this particular deck has cards that are colorful on both sides. So as you can see, I'm going to put that down for a second. As you can see, this is what the deck looks like. Okay. And then on the sides, there's no edging. Okay, on the sides there's no edging. This is what the deck looks like on the front, and this is what it looks like on the back. So if I was to use an orange, or if something was to slip, it's not going to cause too much damage to the deck itself. There we go. Yeah, it's not going to cause too much damage to the deck itself. So I'm willing to take that risk with this particular type of card. And last but not least, I have another art marker. This is the Art Alternatives dual tip marker here. And I probably picked up like 6 colors of this one. As you can see, it's like a nice dark muted blue. And it is also double tipped. I'm pretty sure I said that in the title. Boom. And that one's pretty big, so I don't know if I'm going to be using that side too much. It looks like chaos, but I think this would be so beautiful. Look at the colors in here, and then look how beautiful and muted this is. I think this is going to be perfect. Okay, so now that I've shown you what we're going to do today, let's get started. I think I've given you all my disclaimers. I've told you why I've chosen certain decks. and showed you what they look like. To be very clear, this is the first and only deck that I'm going to attempt with. And this is like my personal deck. Like, I'm probably not going to use this for anyone, but out of all of these decks, this is the only deck that is, you know, has one color on this side, no gilding, but then has white edges. All the other edges pretty much go to the corners. Actually, I lied. The Cozy Witch Tarot. The Cozy Witch Tarot has a cream colored border, but again, it has already been tried and true that the Crayola ones do not bleed, and if it does get onto your matte surface, you can literally wipe it off with your finger or have a paper towel next to you. That's what it is. Okay, so tools. Make sure you have your deck. Make sure you have your color of choice, marker of choice, and then make sure you have a paper towel with you so that you can quickly wipe off any mistakes. All right, let's get into it. Okay, so I am selfish. I really am curious about how this is going to work out with this super big marker. I believe that this will be my safest first try. Reason being, all of this on the back is already black, okay? So if I get a little bit around here, it should be okay. Not only that, but this is a dry erase marker, so I should be able to just wipe this off. So I feel like this is going to be the easiest. Now, the technique for this that works the best is, I don't know if you can tell the side of this. I'm holding this to the side, so the flat side first. You have the back facing, you have the back of the card facing you, slightly bent towards you, and then you use your pinky as your guide and just slide it on through. Now again, this is my first time using a dry erase marker, so I'm sort of trying to see where this goes. Okay, so it looks like I'm gonna have to do a couple coats on this one, but let me stop and look at the other side. Okay, just making sure I don't have too much going on. It's a little bit dark on that side, but should be okay. So I'm going to keep on going. Oh, also, I found that going away from you, okay, so with this felt marker, with the dry erase marker, I would use the pointed part. I didn't want to at first, but it gives the best color. I don't know if it'll, there we go. As you can see, that is nice and white. So I'm going to go over with the marker right now. Again, leaning towards me, using my finger as my guide. Boom, look at that. Butter, black. Okay, and I have a little piece. I don't know if you can see it. I don't want to wait either. Dang it. Okay, so yes, you're going to have to be careful with this. Ah, no. Okay, so you are going to have to be careful with this marker. With it being so big, I do have a little bit of bleed over creeping in. I don't know if this will show. Let's see here. Yeah, I don't know if you can see. Like right there, and there's a little bunch right there. But if I did this quick, I'm pretty sure it wouldn't have been an issue because I've already done this side, and then when I decided to move slow to show you guys on the, and then I just marked on goddamn thing and do that. That's when I ended up having an issue. So that's black. And again, this edge right here is still white, so I'm just going to do this really quickly. See, I was about to mess up. I had the picture pointing to me. Don't want that. Boom. Okay, and then I just wipe off the edge really quickly with my fingers. Okay, boom. So I'm going to do a couple of these, come back and show you what it looks like. So again, point it towards me, using my finger as my guide. And boom, no mess. I'm just going to wipe it just for the sake of. I like it. And if you go pretty quickly, you tend not to have as much mess. It doesn't tend to bleed in deep. But I can tell that there's something different about the card. Let me see if I can get close. I can tell, I don't know if you guys can tell, but around the edges just seem just a little bit darker. Can y'all tell the difference? It just seems like it has a little bit more of a shadow now because I did the edging. But yeah, so far I think I'm enjoying. So far I think I'm enjoying this. So again, away from you. Pinky as your guide. Do it quick, do it quick. Missed a spot. Okay. Okay. And I'm just cleaning up the edges of anything that I have found. We're good to go. All right, so at this point I have edged. Okay, so I'm looking at it and the edging has come out to be a little bit more gray. It shows up black at first, but then it seemed like the card absorbs a little bit more of it and then it turns gray. But again, let's keep in mind, this is an expo marker, so it is meant to fade. It is meant to, you know, be wiped off easily. So maybe this was not the best idea. So let's try different. All right, so I did decide to sit that other one off to the side. I am going to use a Crayola marker, do about 5 of these cards, and then come back to see the difference in the strength of the black. All right, so I just did 5 cards with the Crayola. As you can see, it does have some absorption as well in it. But what I will say is it was so much easier working with this. So I don't know if you can tell around the edges, but you don't see the black creeping in to the cream around the card there. But black, no matter what you're working with or what you're doing, has always been a tricky color to work with, whether it's, you know, in makeup, paint, you know, all those things. So what I've noticed with this is I think that I do like the black better in the Crayola. I did have to go over it quite a few times, and I'll just show you really quickly how I did this. But so what I did was, of course, have the back facing me, go over it twice, and it doesn't even show up on the front. Like, it's perfectly fine. Then I would just do it again multiple times. Like, I could literally just scrub this thing on through and it still hasn't bled to the front. So I've done 3 sides, the 2 longest sides and the bottom side, and boom. That one I haven't done yet, but let's do that together. Oh, got it facing the wrong way. About to mess up. But I'm just able to just run this over it freely and little to no repercussions. Like, I don't see anything creeped in on this. Absolutely love it. So while we're here testing blacks, I also picked up 2 of the dual. I also picked up 2 of the dual tip. I don't know if you can see it. Alternative dual tip markers. So I'm going to go ahead and use the small side and see if there's a difference between the way the black works. So let's just do that. So again, making sure that the back is facing me, and we're going to do this. And this is my first time using this, using this one. So I don't know how forgiving this is. I don't know what it's going to do. What I will say is this is probably the blackest black thus far. I've had to run across it. Okay. Okay. It's doing pretty good. I'm gonna keep going. And I'm actually going kind of slow. That black, this is probably the darkest black so far. And again, I'm doing this on what I would consider to be a safe set of cards. Okay, so I got a little bit there. Let's see if I can wipe it off. God dang it, you cannot. So once you make a mistake on this, I don't know if you can see it at the bottom there. Right there. Yep, once you make a mistake with this, it's there forever. Okay, so you gotta be careful. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put my finger to the edge of this. So if it slips, it's gonna get my finger and not the card. So I'm gonna take my time and continue to run the edges. Nice and slow. Okay, a little bit faster than that because it looks like it's wanting to bleed when I go too slow. Boom. Okay. Not bad. But this looks like one, if you make a mistake, you got to wipe this super quick or else you're going to be in trouble. Okay. So I'm not going to go through that again because I'm going to use the blue one on my herbal astrology deck. But trust me when I say this black is definitely a fuller coverage. Alrighty. Onward to the next deck. Okay, so I'm going to work with this felt tip marker here on the Queens of Hip Hop. And this is going to be interesting because these cards are big. Like, look at my hand compared to the other cards. Insane. So, let's see. I'll pick a deck. This isn't an abnormal. This isn't, well, it's not too big. If you have the Cozy Witch Tarot, this is about how big it is in reference to that. But let me see if I can get a regular sized tarot deck, tarot card. Let's see here. So in comparison to my Wandering Star Tarot, this is how big it is. So that's the bottom. So way more real estate to say I'm getting ready to, I don't know, how many cards is this? 52 cards. So hopefully I got enough ink in this thing. All right. Let's get it popping. So again, facing away. I'm just going to go ahead. I'm going to go for it. Oh, all right. So if you don't have this directly into that crease, it is not going to work. I was doing it on the side, you know, with the other ones. Look at it. Nothing. So you're going to have to put it directly in there. And for this card to be so goddamn big, I'm not doing that. You see how it just slips off? And I'm using my finger as a stabilizer. Yeah, that's not going to work. So, I mean, it's nice that on this is a semi, I would consider it a semi-gloss. It is semi, it's not quite matte, but, you know, it's a semi. But for me to sit here and directly, this would have to be a project for over a month because absolutely not. You see how slow I have to go? Yes. 0 out of 10 stars. Do not recommend because absolutely not. No. Do not use that. It's really good for coming off. As you can see, I slipped on it. Okay, so I can show you. Boom, if you make a mistake, you can wipe it off as long as you wipe it off quickly. But no, I didn't even finish one side of this thing. Like, absolutely not. Next deck. Okay, so I'm not gonna lie. This is the one that makes me the most nervous. Reason being, it is light on this side, and it has light borders. And I'm talking about doing a dark color. I'm almost thinking about reconsidering, but you know, I ain't no punk, so we're gonna go ahead and try it with this Crayola and see how it works. So I'm just gonna grab a little stack here, put these off to the side. Card number 1, as we've been saying, face the back towards you. I've got my marker. Let's do it. Okay, I got a little bit right there. I'm going to keep going to see how this is going to work. Well, the good news is anything that is left over, you can kind of tell on the outside, and this is why you want it to face on the outside. Any extra ink, if it drains off, will be on the back of the card and not on the front of the card to distract you from your reading. So I respect it. I respect it. So I don't know if y'all can tell. Yeah, it did pretty good, but I don't know if y'all can tell that spot right there. See, like a little indentation. But that's about it. And the front of the card pretty much looks untouched. This is why Crayola is seemingly the best. So I'm going to do a few more and come back. All right, so I am back, and I did one pass of the burgundy. There we go. The ring light kind of has it washed out, but it actually looks pretty nice. It's very subtle, and I only did one pass. I don't know if I said that. I'm trying to get this thing to focus, but I only did one pass on these, and they look pretty good. And again, this is with the Crayola. There we go. Oop, I need to redo those corners. But what I do love about this, compared to ways of doing it with stamps and all those type of things. Look how black my finger is. Where'd that come from? But compared to stamps and those things, I can immediately go and use this deck if I needed to do a reading. If this, you know, you only had one card, one set of tarot cards, and you wanted to decorate it, or, you know, what have you. The markers allow for a quick dry time, so you can get back to using them rather quickly. So this is what that looks like. And again, I only did one pass. I might go over a second time a little later on, but I didn't want to press my luck with it being light on this side and on the other side. But it looks good. All right, so now we have the Oceanic Tarot. This is what it looks like. And this is a large deck as well. Let's see. There we go. Boom. So this is how much real estate it has. All right. So we're going to go ahead and start on this one using the mild liner. And again, I've already known how this works, and it works pretty decent. I'm going to use the smaller tip here. And let's do this together. Refocus. Boom. Back facing me. Okay, so this one has a green background. And yes, this one I do remember I only did one pass on this because the ink does sort of bleed slightly. So just wipe down the edges there. Going back. Oh, I was not supposed to use this color. I was supposed to use the green. No! God dang it. I'm going to do one green. I'm going to do it. Oh, mistakes were made. Who played Call of Duty? I don't, but I remember hearing that. So this one's just blue. Very sad about it. We'll figure it out. Or, hear me out. I do half the deck green, half the deck blue, and then mix them up. That'll be fire. I'm going to do that. So I'm just never going to know. And I'm not even going to do it by suits. I'm just going to do it. See, this is why I wanted to do the green on here, because I know it wouldn't, I don't know if you can see. Yeah, that's pretty. I know it wouldn't have bleed. I knew it wouldn't have clashed, you know, with these other colors. But if that blue, my concern was with that blue, if it was off just a little bit, it was going to be very, it's gonna be very loud, you know. So boom. I think I missed a spot. Yep, did. All right, swipe that extra piece off. Yay! All right, so I'm gonna do a couple of those green. I think I'm gonna do 5 green, 5 blue, mix them up and just show you how it looks like to have a bit of a collage situation going. All right, so I just came back to show you all what it looks like when you do 2 colors at once on the sides. So now you have a deck that's going to be, you know, multicolored, multi-dimensional, and I did not discriminate against suits as far as what colors I want to do, because I still want it to be miscellaneous. I still want the surprise of it all when the decks, when the cards flip over. But this is what this will look like for you. So this is a happy accident for me. Loving it. And I will show you what it looks like to apply color from the felt side. So we've got the cards. Once again, I'm going to flip open and use the felt, the big felt part. And what I like to do is use the side of it. Okay, so I'm going to use the side. Boom. Look at that. Got a little bit of something right there. See if I can still wipe it off. Boom. Okay, so I'm going to keep on going. I'm just going over that corner one more time. Sorry, y'all. I'm trying to stay in the camera. Ugh. But it was literally that simple. I was able to wipe everything off. And yeah, that's what that looks like. And that's how smooth that was. On to the next deck. All right. So our, what, 5th and final deck, I believe. We're going to use the Herbal Astrology here. This is what the back looks like. So I've got a light colored back and mostly dark pictures in the front. I'm almost thinking that I might flip it around and have these parts facing me, but I don't want it on the card. So I'm probably just going to do what I've been doing and just be very careful. So again, let's go over real estate here. So regular tarot card. That is about how much bigger it is. Boom. All right, so let's get this party started. All right, putting my finger to the edge of that so it doesn't bleed. Uh-oh. So it just so happens with this particular, okay, it came off quickly. All right. So with this particular deck, the grooves in which those white spots are actually rather deep. It's almost like the outsides of the cards on the opposite sides come over the white part a little bit. So I'm having to apply a little more pressure than I personally am comfortable with. Oh gosh, and I'm messing up here. It's making me really nervous. But I tell you what though, this coverage is insane. Like, well, it wipes off pretty quick. Y'all saw that. Okay, so I'm just gonna have to trust myself with this last part. I missed a spot right there. Okay, so we've got the entire thing. There's a couple white spots here. Okay, whew. All right, I'm not gonna lie, that was a little nerve-wracking, but look at that color. It's so vibrant, it's so pretty. But I had to go with this color. I was like, this color goes with this so well. But check that out. Yeah, I'm probably gonna struggle through this and just do it. Or I'm gonna try the other side. I'm gonna try the thick one on the next one. Hold on. All right, we're using the big one here this time. Let's wish me luck. All right, so back facing me, getting to it. Oh, smooth as freaking butter, y'all. Yes, absolutely yes. I don't know why I was scared. I don't know why I was scared, because this is exactly what I needed. Yes. Ooh. One coat shouty. Yes. Yes. No mistakes, no bleeding as of right now. Yes, it doesn't show up on the back. Look at it. Well, you can kind of see the color coding, but you can't see it on the back, and it doesn't interfere with what's going on the front. Yes. Let's do a couple more of these with Big Bertha here. Let's go. See how smooth this is. You guys can see this in real time. Wow. Nah. I can't believe I was scared to use this. I can't believe I was scared to use this. Okay, one more for good measure. One more for good measure. Again, back facing me. One swipe. And it's got all the white spots. It cleared it. You see how fast this is going? Still using my finger as a base. You know, you don't want to get carried away. You don't want to get too comfortable, mess around and jack up your deck. But yeah, no outside bleeding. I've showed you that, you know, if you get a little bit on there, it's not gonna mess it up. Yes. All right, I'm gonna do a couple more and come right back. Yo, run, don't walk, run to Family. No. I got these from Dollar General. Run to Dollar General and get these double tip art ones, because look how vibrant that is. This is exactly what I wanted for this deck. This is exactly what I wanted for these colors. You feel me? Like, I didn't get to some of the darker ones yet, but my goodness, look at it. The coverage is nice and even. It's amazing. You don't have as much patchiness as you do sometimes with the Crayola. But what I will say is, you see those stripes? This will require a bit of, just a smidge longer of a drying time. Like I said, using Crayola markers and things like that for these projects allow for them to be a quicker drying time. This right here, you're probably going to have to give them, by the time, I would say give it about 20 minutes before you use these cards again. Like, it absorbed pretty well. And now that I think about it, I'm pretty sure that line is from when I was holding it like this to make sure it didn't bleed. But yes, run, don't walk. And they have I'm not gonna say a million colors. They have a lot of colors with this, but I am pleasantly surprised and very happy at how this came out. Oh my gosh. So I lied. This is going to be the last and final deck. And I don't know if you can see, but this is one of the first decks that I got when I started tarot. So there's quite a bit of nicks on here. So this is going to give it a little bit of a zhuzh, refresh it just a little bit, because you've seen me, I shuffle like this. Okay, so I be tearing these cards up, you hear me? So I'm just going to use this, and I'm going to go in with the metallic. As you can see, I haven't even broke these out of the pack yet, so this is going to be really interesting. It's going to be really freaking interesting. So I'm going to use the silver. And what brand is this? It just says American Crafts. And I also got this from, this was also a Dollar General purchase. The only thing that I got from Family Dollar was, I got the Crayola dry erase markers from Family Dollar, and the felt, and these right here from Family Dollar. So again, I do not recommend these unless your Oracle deck is only like, or say you're doing majors only or something like that, a majors only deck, and you only have maybe like 20 cards. No, I do not recommend these. The tip is too small and you'll be there all freaking day. No. So boom. Alrighty. Premium metal ink for dark or light paper. Let's give it a shot. Dog, almost broke a nail trying to open this thing. All right, so in case you have never seen this deck before, it's absolutely stunning. Like, I love it. It's really good for shadow work, really good for getting into the nitty gritty of your emotions. So yes. All right. Once again, say it with me, people. Back pointed towards me. Let's get it. All right. Oh, snap. Ooh, great coverage. It's hard to tell because it's so close to white. It's hard to tell when you've gotten it, but yeah, I missed that whole part right there. Huh. Okay. Point to me again. Closer to the tip. And I missed I swipe right there. Let's wipe that off. Boom. And this is also a glossy deck, by the way. This is a glossy deck, which is another reason why I felt safe using this. I feel like it would have been a little bit more forgiving. Yeah. Felt like it would have been a little bit more forgiving. Gosh. Goodness. Okay, that's me, y'all. That's a me error. And yep, I've already did that part. Cool. All right. So you guys have seen me do this multiple times at this point. I'm going to go and come back. All right, so I am back. I went ahead and did the silver metallic. Check this out. This is nice. This is absolutely stunning. The only downside I would say is with the silver, because I'm putting it on white, it was a little bit hard to see if I got everything. Look, I'm seeing that in the camera right now. Where is that? Right there. A couple blemishes right there that I can go back over. But my goodness, look at this deck. Like, ooh. Makes me want to pull this thing back out. And then because I knew this would be a little hard to see, I went ahead and picked up the antique gold and did the Sacred Rebels Oracle. This is the back. Actually, this would be a really good deck pairing. I might do this one day. Look at that. Woo. Love it. And this is what the gilding looks like on the side. I'm trying to tell you, these go hard a little bit. A lot of it. Now this is actually the last card. So I'm going to put these away and I'm going to come right back. Okay, so now we are at the end of the video, but I would like to give you a few more tips and tricks, okay, and how I felt about everything overall. My top pick, I would definitely have to say, is these art alternative dual tip markers. This part actually did very, very well for my matte Oracle deck. This one here, it was easy to wipe off. I would recommend just wiping it immediately for the best results, okay? My second favorite would have to be these other ones here. The mild liner right here. Once you get the hang of it, it's very smooth. It's very quick. You have minimal bleeding. And again, you can wipe it off quickly. Disclaimer, I use this particular marker on a glossy finished card, and that is why I like it so much. I have yet to try this on a matte card because I just didn't, you know, I don't have anything to use with it at this moment, but I do love the way this works. I love the fact that you have two options. Reason being, after a while of using these markers, it develops a groove Okay, so where the cards just consistently go in, you develop a groove, and then you have to kind of find different spots on the marker itself, rotate it to make sure it's, you know, the groove is not over coloring the card. So the fact that it is dual ended, you have that option, and both sides work very well. On this here, I don't recommend this side as much because I was paranoid and I was making a whole bunch of mistakes. This side made it super easy as butter. Not only that, but at my Dollar General, these were the only colors that I really liked. I think there might have been like another gray or something like that, but I didn't have a lot of colors to go with. But at the same location, there was a lot of these. So there was red, there was orange, like there was a lot, but I just didn't see myself using red or orange, so I didn't get all the colors. I only got the colors that I felt like I would use more often. So boom. And then coming in third place for me is the Crayolas. They actually work 100% as recommended, as prescribed. I have no complaints about it. They're easy cleanup. The only issue that I would say is you would have to go over it multiple times for a certain level of results. But as safe and easy as these are, and easily accessible, because I bought this. That's what these are, right from the dollar store. I bought those. So this is probably by far the most convenient because you can literally get it anywhere. Okay. Oh man, these markers right here, the metallics, I actually really like these. And I was able to try it on both a matte deck and a glossy. Again, this one was glossy, and the Sacred Rebels Oracle deck were matte. They work better with the glossy. The glossy, you have more time to wipe it off, but when I was using the gold with the matte, you have to get to it immediately. But the coverage is amazing. You only have to go over it once, and the results show immediately. So definitely highly recommend these as well. I'd almost move this to the I'd almost move this to third place and the Crayolas to 4. 4, as far as getting the job done, these 3 are the top, but as far as accessibility, Crayola is it. And again, this is what the metallic markers look like. This is the brand right here. Now, last but not least, the Expo markers. I really am going to give these another shot. The black is a controversial color, like I said, in anything, paint, makeup, whatever. So I can see this doing what it does. And then I'll also do a wear test, like to see over time if it continues to fade, you know, just like a Expo marker would normally do, or a dry erase marker would do. But I would definitely love to try one of these other colors to see what it does. And this right here is a no, 100% no. As you can see, this is the Family Dollar little logo thing here. Yes, no, do not recommend. Waste of freaking time. Don't get it. I'm probably going to use this in my journals because it does make the statement that it doesn't bleed. And what I will say is it came with 4 felt markers, and then it came with extra little pens. So that was cute. You know, that's nice or whatever. But still, it's a no for me. You know, it's still a no for me as far as using them for my decks. But so far so good. I am overly excited and overly pleased for how everything came out. I'll do an update video once I color in, once I finish edging all of the decks. I'll bring them back and show you exactly how it came out, especially this one because we did the multicolor with this one. I'm pretty excited about that. But if all hearts and minds are clear, I'm going to check my notes here. Oh, one last thing. The Crayola black. The Crayola black, it pulls green. So after my card started to dry, when we did the trial with the black, this actually pulled and showed up more green than actual black. And just a reminder, that was a matte cardstock. That was a matte cardstock. So yes, as far as the Hip Hop Queens, I'm going to go over that with the orange out of the Crayola just to see what that shows up like. So that's going to be a part of the update. And then, as I said, with the metallic colors, make sure if you're using it on a mat, make sure that you wipe it quickly. So those were the notes that I had. If I think of anything else on the way, I will, like I said, I will add it to the update video. But if all hearts and minds are clear, thank you so much for your time and your energy. I will also list these decks, if they are available, down into the description box. So in case you see something that you like, you can go ahead and pick that up for yourself. And yeah, oh, don't forget to hit the like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know if this is something that you think that you could do. It's definitely an affordable way to get it done. I haven't seen, you know, any of my people talk about maybe doing something like this. So I would love to see, you know, if that's something that you guys are willing to do. Is that something that you even care to do, you know? So let me know your opinion on this at all. At this point, like I said, if all hearts and minds are clear, be good, be smart, be safe, and I will catch you in the next video.